Hi there. We want your girlfriend's experience to be the best it can be. Did you know that you can increase the picture quality on YouTube? Let's change the quality to 4K. That's super clear, ultra high definition video. I'll walk you through it step by step. Move your mouse over the video or tap the screen if you're on a phone or tablet, and you'll see some buttons appear. On a computer, click the little gear icon in the bottom right corner of the video. In the YouTube app for phone or tablet, tap the little gear icon in the top corner of the video. Next, click or tap the button that says Quality. This shows you the video options. Look for the one that says 2160p 4K and select it. That's the highest quality, nice and sharp. Watching in 4K uses more of your internet bandwidth and can potentially slow your connection. If you are having issues with your video, you can always go back and choose a lower video quality. That's it. Now you're watching in the best quality possible.
Everyone, welcome to Three Themes Live.
Yes.
Guess what, Kyle?
It's Monday.
Bum, 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 bum. Here we go. We don't have another word for Monday,
No,
do we?
we don't.
All right, but we're excited for it and so happy to have you all here with us. Welcome to Three Themes Live. Let's go. Everyone, welcome to Three Themes Live. I'm Kris here at my girlfriend's quilt shop, and I am so excited for a brand new week. The sky is beautiful, the sun is shining, and I've got two of my favorites here with me today. Can life get any better? I've got Allison and Kyle. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going so good.
Yeah?
Really good.
Yeah.
Really
Around here, we're
Oh, my
talking about
goodness.
one of our favorite things.
So many things.
Yes.
I'm really interested in this lady today.
And this lady, we're not talking about just any lady,
No,
are we?
no.
So for theme number one today, we better just jump right into it because we have a lot to cover. One of the things that we absolutely love about Three Themes Live is the fact that we can bring several different worlds together. You know, when we talk about creativity, creativity has no bounds, right? Obviously here we love the sewing, the machine embroidery, the serging, the long arming, all of it. The cutting, the painting,
The unpicking.
all of it, right? But today we're going to bring our worlds together with another world of art.
Yes.
And we have an amazing artist as our guest today. I am so excited because you all are going to be so happy that you've tuned in. We have Rolinda Stotts with us, and she's coming to us all the way from Tennessee. And I'm going to save a little bit more about what we're going to talk about with her here in just a moment, but I want to first bring her on and say, welcome, Rolinda. Hello, my friend.
Hello. I'm so excited to be part of your family. Like, this is a big deal.
Thank you. Well, we feel like it's a big deal to have you, and thank you for taking the time out of your day. I know you are incredibly busy because you are an incredible artist. And the fact that you came and are being with us today, I think we have a lot to gain from our conversation. I'm very excited. So let's go ahead and get started. Rolinda, for those out there who may not be familiar with who you are or your realm of artwork, why don't you start off with just telling us a little bit more about you personally, and then we'll talk about the art.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I think that the place we always have to start is when we're 8. Like, what was I when I was 8 years old? And I grew up on a dairy farm. And when I was 8, I discovered that I wanted to be a bull rider. So that sounds kind of funny.
I would have never guessed.
I actually am not a professional bull rider, but I do something that is very similar to bull riding, and that is I am now a professional artist, which is pretty much like being in the rodeo, you know?
Yeah, pretty much, for
Rolinda,
sure.
that's not where you started before the artist. I hear you had ambitions to be a vet. Is that true?
Well, it's really kind of interesting. I studied animal sciences in school, and that's how I got all connected with you, is through my wonderful roommate, Tammy. We were actual roommates in college, and I was
Yes.
studying animal sciences. And the secret is I didn't really tell anybody this, but I wanted to be a lobbyist. Like, who wants to be a lobbyist?
Okay.
But I figured
Wow.
the cows needed me, you know? Like,
Oh, that is funny. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you wanted to be a rodeo in the rodeo.
the
You
bull
the
rider.
bull rider. You wanted to
Yep.
be a vet,
And then she wanted to
and a
lobby in the
lobbyist. I mean,
Senate.
it all connects, right?
Right.
animals, right? Cows, lots of cows.
That's right. So, at what age did you start really being interested in art itself?
Yeah, so that's what's fascinating. I got married very young to a man I'm still with to this day. We're coming up on our 36th wedding anniversary, which is amazing.
Congratulations. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. And then, of course, babies came shortly after that. And it was really fascinating because that whole world, I loved being a wife and loved being a mother. But I felt this like dark void inside of me because I wasn't doing anything terrifying and thrilling in public. And that's where that bull rider comes into play. It's like I needed
Interesting.
some kind of like public, weird, crazy, scary thing. And so I had a really good friend that invited me to make and sell some things. And I started doing that. And eventually I found oil paints.
Really?
And started making and selling oil paintings. And I didn't even know that made me an artist. I just knew I loved making money. It was a lot of fun. So
Okay, wait a minute here, Rolinda. Now,
I
come
know.
on. Okay, so I mean, from going from not having any experience necessarily to
Yeah.
oil painting. I mean, oil painting is not for the faint of heart.
Nope.
I mean, there's a lot to it. I am so surprised by how this came to be. Why oil painting?
You know, so what's fascinating, I started painting on anything I could get my hands on. Fabric. I would make a pillow and paint on the pillow. I would make a wooden tray and paint on the wooden tray. I would find concrete or linoleum, and I just started painting on everything, but I would buy my paint from Home Depot or
Okay.
the craft
Sure.
store. And when you do that, that's like plastic paint. And eventually I had a really good friend, and she was like, ooh, you should try oil paint, like fine art oil paint.
Really?
And that is like literally when I found my soul. The first color I ever mixed was black. And that sounds so weird, but to take different colors and actually
Yeah.
make a black color, it was like so delicious and so satisfying. And I was hooked.
Wow. Okay, Rolinda, what does it take to make the color black?
So it depends on what kind of black. If you want a warm black, one of the really pretty blacks that I love making is taking a French ultramarine blue with some quinacridone magenta and
Wow.
some Van Dyke brown, and that becomes this amazing, like really beautiful black. Like it's kind of crazy. But it's just the same way in quilting, right? When you want to bring in also those different colors and start mixing to be able to get that
Sure.
effect, it's the same kind of thing. Do you want to go cool or do you want to go warm?
Boy, you know what? That just opened my eyes. I used to think if I just like plopped a bunch of colors together, it would look like mud, and it would look terrible. But there really is a lot of thought
Yeah.
that goes into that. And that's
I mean,
interesting.
seriously, when you think about the color wheel that we use so often
Yeah.
in complementary colors and coordinating colors, I mean, that is what Rolinda is doing as well.
Interesting.
Did she have training, color theory training or
I
anything?
don't know, Rolinda.
No. So this is what's been so fun about my journey. It has truly been a self exploration. It's I started with just a few colors and started kind of learning how to speak their language, and they became really good friends to me, these specific colors. And then eventually, for instance, blue is a great one to think about. I would start introducing another type of blue. So I started with Prussian blue first, and then phthalo blue came next, then French
Wow.
ultramarine blue, and then cobalt blue. So, and you can
Oh.
see those blues in the rooster.
Oh my
You're
goodness, it's
getting
gorgeous.
so many different colors of blue, but it's just like anything else. The more you show up and you start to become fluent in that language. And I would I mean, trust me, my first paintings do not look anything like what I'm currently doing.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
So,
I'm glad.
yeah, you hope you grow, right? And I would
Sure.
imagine it's the same in the quilting world. Your first
Yeah.
quilt looks
yeah.
probably very different.
Oh,
yes.
absolutely. It's embarrassing to
Yeah.
go back and look, but then I have to realize and give myself grace to say, you know what, everyone has to start somewhere, and then you get better and better and better, right?
I think you still look at those things and think, you know what, this represents me trying.
Oh,
You know,
yes, I love
This
that.
represents me trying, and this represents who I was at that point.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so I think
And it
we
was pretty good at that point. You felt pretty
and
proud.
I think we love
Right.
them, so I'm sure
Yeah.
it's the same.
So, Rolinda, I think this is a good segue into what I really want to talk about right now, and that is this idea that you have really, just embraced, and that is the fact that we can embrace imperfections, right? And so,
Absolutely.
imperfection can actually be a beautiful thing, whether it's in our artwork or whether it's in our own lives. Can you tell us a little bit more about that concept that you have really started to embrace and hone in on into your life?
Absolutely. This is a deep philosophy that I have, which is the name actually of the artwork that I create, which is called Bella Rota, beautiful broken. And
Okay,
it's this
well,
concept-
wait just a moment. I gotta let's hold that thought for a minute, okay? Because this term I think is absolutely beautiful. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about how you came to this term.
So it goes back to my first exposure to artwork. So I grew up in a very small town, my hometown of Adrian, Oregon, Eastern Oregon, on a dairy farm. And I remember 3 art projects in elementary school, but we just didn't really have a formal art program. It just, small school, small
Sure.
budget. We
Sure.
had taxidermy, so we that was So, but if you think about it, art is truly everywhere. I just didn't identify it. I didn't know, I wasn't taught that. Oh, that's
Sure.
art.
Okay.
So fast forward, I get married, and my husband had lived in Italy for a couple of years, and we have a 1-year-old daughter, and we have a tax refund. We're talking about tax season coming up, right?
Yeah.
So we used our tax refund to go to Italy and see some of his friends, and we went all the way from the top all the way to the bottom of Italy, and that was my first exposure to artwork. And could you imagine this tiny little farm girl, very small global experience, all of a sudden like, whoa.
Yeah.
And art is everywhere in Italy. Like it's the epicenter of art.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing David, Michelangelo's David for the first time, and the Sistine Chapel, and not just in these really museum iconic locations, but also in the homes of Italians. Their walls are filled with original art. They admire art and artists in such a way. So that's my first taste.
Okay.
And then I've always known I was a creator. I feel very grateful for that knowledge. And I've always created, but it took me time to eventually find oil paints and actually start creating fine art. And that Italian core, my ancestry is actually from Italy, which is kind of fun as well.
Yeah.
But that Italian core, my husband and I were talking one night, I was like, I really want to give my paintings a name. It's a unique technique. What should I call it? And so we were talking about what the meaning behind the artwork was. And the reason I started creating anything, quite frankly, at those early ages of motherhood was I needed to find a way out of this deep, dark hole that I was in of perfectionism.
Sure.
I had gotten sucked into this idea and concept that I needed to be flawless. And that's not humanly possible.
Right.
It's actually quite inhumane to think that we could be flawless.
Sure.
And that concept of finding peace within the pieces, finding beautiful beauty in the broken, is really what my art technique is all about. The message I want to share with the world is we truly are broken.
Wow.
Let's just face it. We are broken.
Yeah.
But we can, under the right conditions, that brokenness can be beautiful, because when we have a safe foundation, that brokenness doesn't destroy us.
Wow.
Isn't that
And
amazing?
this is the key. We need that safe foundation.
Okay, so Rolinda, tell us the term that you have coined for this once again.
Bella Rota, R-O-T-T-A, beautiful broken.
Bella Rota. Okay, so how does that translate into your artwork?
So if you see that image, and I don't know if we can direct things, if you go back, the surface that I paint on, yes, this is it. That surface that I paint on, you see the blue part?
Yeah.
That is the canvas. And you see the fractures and the cracking. And I only call it canvas because it's the thing that I paint on.
Okay.
It's not like any other traditional canvas. I actually create and make the surface that I paint on. I call it the canvas. And that canvas, if I left it by itself, you can see it, it's fractured and broken. If I left it by itself, it would fall apart and disintegrate. It cannot sustain life by itself. It needs more than just itself in order to survive. So that's the first layer of originality. Along the edge of that image, you saw that brown part that kind of looked like wood. That's called the crust, and that's the edge of that painting. But underneath that crust and that canvas is something you don't see, which is a foundation. It's just a wooden platform. It's just basic plywood, finger jointed pine. It's just a box, table saw, chop saw, nail guns. And that foundation, that solid foundation, really allows that cracked, broken canvas. I bring that fragile, flexible, broken canvas onto that foundation, that wooden platform. And that stability allows that broken, fragile thing to be safe now, because it's not going to continue to break.
Wow.
This is way deep.
It's amazing.
Well, let me just take it one level. We by ourselves are that canvas.
Yes.
We are broken. We are fragile. Isolated, alone, we will fall apart and disintegrate. We are not designed to be alone. We need our family, friends, and our community to make us safe, so that our brokenness is beautiful because it's safe.
Wow, that's incredible.
I got goosebumps.
Yeah, I've got goosebumps too. That really is
cool.
amazing. And then where do you go from there?
So that's the third layer of originality, which is the oil paint. And we started by talking about that oil paint. It is like truly my best friend beyond my husband. Okay. So like we'll make him number one. Oil paint's number two, probably.
There you go.
But that oil paint is the voice of the artist. Any artist that is painting, or any quilter that is quilting, you're an artist as a quilter. When you speak, you're using color and texture and composition, all of those things. So when I am painting on that surface, that Bella Rota canvas, my personality, my expression, my voice is coming out onto that canvas. So that sits on top of that brokenness. We cannot hide brokenness.
Right.
It's just there.
Right. Yes.
It's
That's
about
absolutely true.
embracing it, which comes full
Embracing it.
circle to your theme for today.
Oh my goodness, embracing it and becoming perhaps perfectly imperfect. Would that be a good way of saying
Absolutely.
it?
Wow, that's so beautiful.
That
Yep.
really is.
And look how beautiful her artwork. I mean, you know,
Yes.
it's like the perfect metaphor
For life.
for life.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, so wow.
I
Wow.
love
She's
that.
just building on top of one
Oh
another.
yes, exactly. It's kind of like you have all of these different layers, but they all come together, right?
Absolutely. And I think what's really fun is, as the artist, like, I'm sharing my heart and soul with you. Again, that's the bull rider in me, that public terror and thrill, right? I'm like giving this to the world. When you present your quilts to the world, your
Yes.
creations to the world, there's an opportunity there for it to be a flop, right? Or
Yes.
a thrill. So we are all in a very vulnerable state when we're creating, but the whole idea is to breathe out and give to the world, so that we can then breathe back in and keep breathing out. We must keep that whole process of creativity going and flowing in us, because that's ultimately what helps us stay alive. And even beyond our physical bodies, your quilts that you're making right now are a legacy and a gift for your family in the future. So if you want to feel alive, make something that will live
Wow.
beyond you.
Well, one of the
Wow.
beautiful things, and as I think about this, my mom paints and she also works in oils. But one of the beautiful things, and Rolinda, help me just a little bit, is if you don't like what you're doing, you just paint over the oils, and that's one of the really great things is my mom never threw a canvas away. She never threw any of those canvases
You
away.
didn't need to.
She would, because you don't need to, because she would just paint over it. And so as I'm listening to you talk, I think what an opportunity for all of us to learn from that medium
Yes,
and to learn from that
yes.
soul is that, you know, we all do things we don't like, and that doesn't mean 10 years down the road we don't pivot or we don't change or we don't
build on
paint
that.
over and build
Yes.
on it. And I just love that. I mean, it's like bringing me close to tears because I've never really thought or understood it that way until you bring your artwork
Yeah.
to that.
The beautiful broken.
Yeah.
I would love to hear everyone's thoughts about this, because this conversation to me is just fascinating in so many ways, and I would love to know all of your thoughts at home about what you're hearing right now. I love that Peggy shares in the comments. She says on YouTube, she said, "Wow, I feel spiritually uplifted."
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think there is that spiritual realm to it of, you know, this is kind of this world we live in, and sometimes we are just way too harsh on ourselves,
I feel like I can exhale.
right?
Right.
And that it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it
It's
will be
okay.
okay.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you. My goodness. Tanya shares that she absolutely loves Rolinda's work. I agree. And someone else, Renella, is saying that it is so interesting. You know, it really is. And I find this just such a beautiful metaphor, like Allison, you shared, that it really is a beautiful metaphor for life in of itself, isn't it? And Renelle also shares that we are all definitely too hard on ourselves.
Absolutely.
Kathy shares that it's a beautiful way of expressing our life.
Do you ever
So-
go, have you ever been to a gallery? And I know you do gallery work, you do commissions, Rolinda, you do all of those things. But have you ever been to an art gallery? And there's so many different types of arts, even if you've walked through. And some resonate with you, and some, but you leave and you appreciate that art. You appreciate the photography, you appreciate the drawings, you appreciate the art. And yet, why aren't we doing that with ourselves?
Yes.
I mean, you know, we're not looking at others and saying, you know, I appreciate, despite their flaws, this part of them. And so
Yeah.
I really, today I feel really, what's the word I'm looking for? Just maybe validated
Yes.
in my flaws. So thank you, Rolinda. Thank you so much, because
And
you
our
know,
flaws
that is
are
great.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
so grateful that I'm not a perfectionist, in case
Right.
you didn't know.
Right, right.
That it's easier for me to
Yes.
go, okay,
Yeah.
pivot.
Pivot, yeah, and it's okay. And embrace it, right? So, Rolinda, what would be some of your closing thoughts on what you've shared with us today?
So years ago, I was interviewed, and they asked me, "Why do I paint?" And I think this kind of wraps it all up, which is I said, "Peace. I paint for peace." And they're like, "Oh, wow, world peace." And I was like, "No, no. I paint
only.
for inner peace." Because what I believe is that as we create inner peace, our world inside of here will become peace filled. And as we as individuals are filled with peace, then our world around us, we will radiate peace all around us. So as we go about our day being kinder to myself, as I talk and speak to myself in a kinder way, and you know, the whole like shoulda, woulda, coulda, or you know, find those ways to just be gentle with ourselves and our own imperfections, and finding again peace within the pieces. I think
love
that
that.
that would be the big thing. And as you're quilting, you are taking all these little pieces and making something amazing. So you too can find peace within those pieces.
Oh, I love that. You know, I'm looking at the comments, and our friend Donna shares this, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this notion here, Linda. Donna shares that my personality needs perfection. I've been known to redo a quilt block 5 times. Oof. What would your thoughts be on that?
So I suffer from the same thing. And I think what we have to do, I actually have 5 creative success principles, but one is go. I think sometimes when we get stuck in that paralyzing perfectionism, it is wonderful and beautiful to do something with excellence. That is not the same as the disease of flawlessness or the pain of perfectionism. But when we will go fast and set an intent, like sometimes we might have to set that one block aside. But we can tell when we've tipped over to being, you know, excellent and striving to become better versus really picking apart ourselves. So go is a success principle that really helps and makes a big difference. So maybe set a timer and say, I will give this, you know, X amount of more minutes, and then I'm going to set it aside and say that's enough, and then move on to the next.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that.
I love that. So the word go is that number one principle of you just go for it, right? And sometimes you have to set it aside. I love that concept, Rolinda. That's amazing.
Wow.
That is a huge aha for me today. Just go. Just give it your all, and sometimes that is enough, and sometimes you have to set something aside for a season,
Right.
perhaps.
Right.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I mean, I could continue this conversation for a lot longer. I have a feeling we may need to bring you back on sometime. Would you
Please.
be willing to do that?
I would love that. I would love to be part of your tribe.
Well, we would be grateful, because I think this is something that we, as women especially, and as creators in general, we need to remember these principles. And they're principles not only for the creative work that we do, but for our own lives. And I think it carries through everything that we do in life, right?
Right.
Yeah. So if
Oh
we
my
never
goodness.
go, we don't do anything.
Exactly. If we are always stopped by the fact that we have to be perfect, then we'll never get anywhere. And we'll never enjoy truly a piece that comes through the pieces, like you mentioned. So thank you. Rolinda,
Oh my gosh, what a pleasure.
For
No
those who
wonder
would-
Tammy and Todd
Yes.
just think the world of you and love you. I mean, you know, I just feel like she's part of us already. so.
Absolutely. Rolinda, for those who would like to learn more about you, where can we find you on social media?
Yeah, so it's just my name, Rolinda Stotts. And if you Google my name, you'll see the fine art galleries that represent me, and you'll see all sorts of fun stuff, hopefully good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And you do travel to different art shows throughout the world, correct?
Not necessarily the world, but the United States for sure.
Sure.
I have galleries that represent me across the country. So, yeah.
Wow.
How wonderful.
Wow. And just think, you wanted to be a bull rider.
Yeah. That's right. I think this is a lot more fun. Perhaps a little bit safer too.
A lot safer.
All right. Thank you so much, Linda, for being with us today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
All right. Wow. Oh my goodness. I think I'm going to have to sit with this for a moment. I hope all of you will take the time to do the same today. You know, I really want you to think about how the things that she shared can apply to you in your life. And of course, if this is something that you think could resonate with someone that you love, we would be so grateful if you shared today's video with them, because I think it's something that is absolutely vital for all of us, especially in this day and age. So, wow. Oh my goodness. I don't think I'm going to stop thinking about
No.
this all day.
No.
I loved it.
I know,
Absolutely
it
loved
makes our next segment a little anticlimactic.
Exactly, right? I know. We could do a whole show with Rolinda for sure. Perhaps the next time she's in Utah, we'll have to bring her
yeah, that'll be so
here
fun.
and,
Yes.
and in person and maybe show us some of her techniques, because I'm just absolutely wowed by it. Just incredible. All right, friends. Well, we hope you enjoyed that for theme number 1, embracing the imperfection and the beauty of it. And, you know, when I think about that, I also think about our quilt blogs. And perhaps for theme number 2, we can dive into a little bit about how a block may not be perfect, but this one is perfectly imperfect. And we actually have a ruler that we're going to share with you today that is going to help us make something imperfect absolutely perfect. I can't wait to show you what that is. We'll be back in just a moment. So
Wait,
these
you-
are considered tile scenes, and why do they call it a tile scene?
So you're going
Yes.
to be sewing 6 individual
So
tiles.
you don't have to have a great
Or
big hoop.
embroidery.
Yeah,
No, it's a
let's
5x7.
yes.
This was seriously a game
Let's show
changer for
that.
me. So here's the trick. You want to line up all of your tiles. And then you're going to line these up. And I was putting it on the thread. No. You just put it on material. I just put a little bit
Okay, when you
before where
said
I
you
wanted
were
to line
putting
it
it
up.
on the thread,
Yeah, right
what
here
are
on
you
the satin
talking about?
stitch. On the satin stitch,
Oh,
it doesn't
no.
stick.
No.
it doesn't stick. So then I just put it here on the fabric in between where I want it to line up. You're going to just fold this over and you're going to line up on the sewing machine.
Okay.
Okay, you're going to do a basting stitch because
Basting.
if you
Smart.
need to unpick it,
Wow. That looks fantastic. Super fun project.
Hello, welcome.
Hey.
Welcome back to Three Things Live. I'm Allison.
I'm Kyle.
And we are the perfect pair today, because I have to say
Absolutely.
our philosophy is strive for perfection, because
But-
we are a little imperfect, and together we're a mess.
Oh my gosh, we're kind of a little bit like this.
Yes.
A little bit off, but it's okay.
It's
People
okay.
like us like that.
I mean, I think most of us, I looked at Donna's about unpicking 5 times, and I'm like, I would never
no.
never
No.
do that.
No,
But I absolutely love I absolutely love the Wonky Log Cabin block
the
because
words.
that's what we're going to do today. So I have a finished one here that I'm so excited to share with you because this block is so fun.
When I first looked at this, I'm like, well, how do you figure out the math to do that? I was like, oh, God, I'm not ever doing one of those.
Guess what? You're going to do one of those today, Kyle. We're so excited. So this is kind of an imperfect take on what is usually a perfect quilt block because the log cabin is very symmetrical,
Yes.
very precise. But we're going to take it and we're going to
Some
make
of
it
mine
just
turned
a
out
little
like that
bit
anyway.
wonky. Yeah, like this one. You don't even have to try. But if you want to try, we're going to use a 10-inch Wonky Log Cabin trim tool, and that's what we're going to. I know a lot of you have this and have never used it, and this is absolutely one of the funnest tools that you can have because these come out so fun and just a little bit like me and you.
Yeah, little bit off.
Wonky, little bit off. Yeah, so I want to start with how this works. And so I'm going to take this so that you can see. Now, this is one of those Creative Grids tools that you're like,
They're
really?
amazing.
They are amazing, but what the heck?
I know.
Especially if you pull it out and you have not used it for a long time or you've never used it. One of the things that I love is it shows you what your finished block is going to look like. And then the other thing I love is you can just
Can't
hit
do it without it.
this QR code. You're going to just point your phone or your tablet at that. You're going to just push that, sign in, and it's going to tell you exactly how you do it.
I did not know how to do a QR code for a long time, and I'm trying to take a picture of it.
Yeah, you don't take a picture.
No.
All you do is it'll come up with a yellow or
Yellowish
orange thing.
Touch that.
Touch that.
And
Yep.
it goes right to where it needs to.
All right, well, we are going to get started, Kyle, because you're going to
Okay,
love this. Are
okay.
you ready to sew for me for just a little bit?
I am.
Okay, so these are perfect with 2.5-inch strips. So you want to start with this 10-inch Wonky Log Cabin. You're always going to start with a 2.5-inch strip.
Why 2.5? So it's wide enough because you're going to cut some off.
Yeah, so it's wide enough.
Otherwise, you just have slivers.
And we're just going to pretend that we're just going to make a log cabin. So
Okay.
what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you just with a 1/4-inch seam,
Okay.
sew down one side, sew down another side, and I'm going to just show you just a little bit how this log cabin comes together because each side that you do is going to represent perfect, and then we're going to turn around and we're going to make it just a little imperfect. So
Okay, my needle is to the left. I need it to go to the right.
all right.
Okay, I'm going to move my...
All right, well, we are
Okay.
going to just go along there, and I'm
I can
just
get
going to
the
have you just do one
petals to
seam
go.
on that, Kyle, so
that?
that you can do that. And it doesn't
Okay.
really matter where your seam is at this point because,
Oh, no wonder why it's so
Yep.
slow.
okay, so.
sorry about that. That was-
Sorry, watching.
Oh,
I'm
don't
enthralled.
watch. Don't look at
Okay,
this.
don't look at
Start
this.
again.
Okay. no.
Holy crud. Okay.
All right, Kyle, we're going to move on because guess what?
Sorry.
This is the wonder of television.
Good.
Are you ready for
Good.
this?
I
so
am.
what I
Don't
have
look at
is
that.
we've done this first seam. We're going to add the second, the third, and the fourth. And
Okay.
I have what's just a regular
So
log
I
cabin
just
block.
sewed those two together.
Yeah, show me.
No.
Hand that over. Perfectly imperfect.
Imperfect.
Okay,
Imperfect. Here
so
we go. Oh, you
she's
can't
just
even
sewn.
tell. Can't
Yep,
even tell.
I see, Kyle.
Yes,
then
I love
you
it.
know we'll add the next side. Now on a typical log cabin block, we do lights and then we do darks together, right?
So it shows
you can
contrast.
either do this typical or it's a little wonky. You don't have to pay attention to the colors on this because when you put the log cabin block together, then normally if you do a big quilt, it creates kind of like that pattern.
The pattern, yes,
yeah,
yes.
But this is wonky.
I
so.
did a scrap quilt once with my
Okay.
friend when I first started, and she had me put all of my pieces in a basket.
Okay.
And she says,
Just
pick one out and pretend they're all orange.
right.
Don't try and match, match, match.
And this is kind of the same way because you do need them long enough to cover.
Right.
But if you
But
cut
don't
into
worry
two
about
and
the
a half
colors
strips.
matching.
All right. So
I'm okay if two of the same almost colors are together.
you don't care.
No.
No. All right.
you?
No, I don't care.
I knew it.
Okay, I'm going to take now, and what I'm going to do is, do you see how? Let me show you this.
Oh, yeah,
on
there's
this
three different
thing.
squares there.
There's a round 1A, a round 1B, around 2A, around 2B, and then the center.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to just start at the very beginning.
We
You ready?
Start with 1. Start
1A.
with A, B, C.
Yep, so we
Isn't
are
it?
just going to line this up right here, and just see how that square goes right in our
Oh.
center every time. Okay, so now we're going to take, and we're just going to
You can't
trim.
be worried about wasting fabrics.
No,
this
you can't.
is a
Yep.
scrappy look.
Yep, this is scrappy. Okay, so now once we do this,
that's
then we
one.
made one side. We're going to turn this around, and we're also going to turn our ruler around for 1B. All right, so line up your square. Everybody with me?
But
And
this
then
is still going to be a square.
watch. I mean, you know,
Okay.
as you're cutting off, you're a
Okay.
little bit in a panic, right?
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause
I'm
are you
like-
panicking a little bit, Kyle,
Just
for
a
me,
little.
with me?
I thought-
Okay.
Yeah. It
Then
is a square.
It is a square, but we have created that imperfect sides on the square.
That's awesome.
Okay, so for our next round, then what we would do is we
I
would
would never guess
continue
how you would get that look.
with the log cabin block.
Mm-hmm.
All right, do you want to cut?
Okay.
Okay, Kyle.
Me?
I'm going to slide over here because
Okay.
I have our next round. So
Okay.
for our next round, do you see what I've done? I've added your sides to there, but here's your imperfect block.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, this says round 2. Do I put that square in there?
Yep, because this is round
Oh,
2, so you're going
look
to
at
match
that.
out that.
Look at
Okay,
that.
here's your rotary cutter. What
Okay.
I want you to do, Kyle, is I want you to trim 2A. So,
2A, yes, round 2A.
all right, so you're going to take off your sides for 2A.
All right, and I've got my hand in the wrong place, but don't watch me. Up. I can't do it with left-handed. Do you want to do it?
Yep, I sure
Right-handed.
can. All right, so we'll take and we're going to trim our 2A. So we've got our 2A on the center square. You're going to take it, you're going to take off
I
your
would have to
sides.
use my rotary, or my
Rotating mat. Yep, and we have
Yeah.
one here and I just forgot to pull it out. Okay, now turn it
Oh.
around and you're going to trim now with 2B.
Oh, round B. Okay, 2B.
Okay, so that's the important thing to remember is that you want to do your first cuts on the A, then you're going to
A1.
turn your block and your ruler around.
And A2.
Right.
Okay.
So we're on 2. We're going to take and we're going to trim. And guess what?
That's my second round.
We are perfect in
1,
our
2.
square.
It
But-
still kept it.
Yes. Amazing.
Yeah.
Should we do one more round?
Yeah.
Okay. So in order to do this block now, I have
And we started out with a 2.5-inch square?
2.5-inch square. Yep.
And
Okay.
all your strips are 2.5 inches.
All of my strips are 2.5 inches. So this is perfect to do with those jelly rolls that you have laying
I
around,
have a
or
few.
just cut a 2-inch square. Okay, so our last one is
So
we're
now
going to
we're
do
on
our
3.
our center round. Okay. So now you might panic, Kyle. You might
Okay.
panic here
Yeah.
because we're going to take this, and do you see how this fits right here? But what happens down here?
It's off.
It's off. Wait till we turn
what
it around.
do I do?
Okay,
dear.
let's take that side.
I pull and tug, right?
Nope.
Oh.
Not on this. We're going to take this off. So we're going to take it there.
Yeah, I didn't
but-
want to say anything about it overlapping it.
Yeah, you're like, oh, Allison, what have we done?
Yeah, what have we
Just
done?
flip that around because remember, we have to go the top and the bottom.
And this one is still the center square.
But look what we've done.
Awesome.
We've picked up our square. All right. So now we have our completed Wonky Log Cabin
That was magical.
block.
Magical.
Isn't that great?
And how big is that block at the end?
It's 10 inches plus your 1/4-inch seam allowance. So what I
Okay.
want to show you is look how
So
fun when you
cute.
put those together. Isn't that absolutely amazing?
Darling.
Just
and
so fun.
I love your prairie points.
Oh, you do love those prairie points. Do those scare you?
Yes, they do.
Well,
Absolutely.
guess what? In thing number 3, we may just address that. I do want to remind you, if you absolutely love this ruler or love this table runner and want to try it out, we do have those available on our As Sing on 3 Things Live.
What
So I have a kit
great,
for this.
Quick, easy
Easy.
one to learn.
Yes, and what a great one to learn. And it's perfectly imperfect.
Like Allison.
And like Kyle. All right, let's invite Kris back because these prairie points on here,
Oh, God.
we have a really cool way to do those. And so you want to stay tuned. We'll see you in just a minute.
But it also gives yourself a sense of confidence.
Stop struggling and start learning how to quilt and sew with us on 3 Themes Live.
Over the last couple of weeks, we learned about flying geese, what rulers to use, rotary cutters, adding toppers to tea towels, and so much more.
I love this.
4 of us here took on the carrot challenge, but used different machines to make something unique.
Watch and tell us who you think should take top carrot.
Way to go, way to go.
Nice.
So what are you waiting for? Click the links below to catch up on what you missed, or watch us live on Facebook or YouTube every Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Mountain or 3 p.m. Eastern.
You guys are going to lose your mind.
Remember, 3 Things Live is where we always have something to make you smile
Something to learn.
and something to discover.
Let's go.
A round of
Queenie.
applause. Way to go.
Yes,
Exciting.
absolutely.
How a blanket stitch works. This is kind of like your little dot to dot, because what I wanted to show you is it's going to start right here at this spot, right there, okay? So we have that, and it's going to go front, bite, bite, front, bite, bite. So that's what we want to know is like, where do I pivot in this? Because what happens if I come front, jump, pivot, and go back? It is ugly.
I want that needle to jump in right here beside it, not in it and not more than a thread away. So just keep in mind the pivoting is always happening on the outside. So really after this, it's really not too bad. Going around a curve, go slow, pivot on the outside. I
Thank
think
you.
It works great.
Thank you, Suzanne. I think that was fantastic.
All right, friends, welcome back to 3 Themes Live. You know, I love this table runner. And you know what I especially love? The fabrics. Are
know,
you
isn't
kidding
that
me?
so fun?
Look at this. This is so springy, so summery, so wonky. Just what we're looking for, right?
I know.
All
It's
the
just
difference.
like the weather.
Oh my goodness, exactly. That is so cute. So again, they can find kits on our website.
The same fabric?
I got to
The
show
same fabric
you.
line.
This was something that I did. Oh, was it a year ago? Maybe
2.
Maybe 2. Yeah,
2.
2 years ago.
Did you hand stitch all that?
You know, I did it on the Sashiko machine. Yeah, so those
That's
Sashiko
cool.
stitches were done on the Sashiko machine. But again, this was the Wonky Log Cabin made into a pumpkin. I mean, there's so many different themes that you could make with this, right?
Yeah. Right.
So an apple,
A Christmas ornament.
yes.
I mean, you know,
so many
just
different
ball.
themes.
Anything
yes,
round.
exactly.
Yeah, ball.
Anything round like that. You know, and basically all we did on this one was we took the square, we added snowball block corners to the sides, and now we've made it round. So lots of different things. No, Allison, you were thinking how great would it be to use
just
jelly rolls?
a simple jelly roll.
Right.
And you know, a lot of times,
Love that.
A lot of times the jelly rolls come with lights and darks, if you wanted to
True.
stay with that.
true.
And then also, how many times have you had a jelly roll at home that you're like, you know what, I just absolutely love that, and you have some leftovers
Yes.
that you could use. So these
Great
jelly rolls
idea.
are also
That's a
featured
good
on
idea.
under
Really,
Seen on 3 Things
really
Live.
good
Because you
idea.
could do this pumpkin with the jelly roll colors and then find a background
Absolutely,
with
absolutely.
your extras.
Yes.
Now, one of the things that we also love about this particular table runner are the Prairie points.
Oh.
Those are so cute and really fun to make. Kyle, what's the basic way of making a Prairie point?
Okay.
Right? You've got some squares.
I have squares. This is how I started out doing it.
Okay.
Whatever size you want them, because you can make them bigger or smaller.
Sure.
I'm going to put those folded in half, bias, and then I'm just going to fold it back over here. And you see there's only one edge with,
Right.
with a cut line.
Yeah.
But when I put that in there, in the seam, it goes like this.
Yeah, this is great. So basically, you're just making that square into a triangle,
Yeah.
pressing it with an iron,
And I don't,
just placing
I don't
it in
even
there.
sew it until I pinned it onto the project.
Okay, I
I'll
love
pin
that.
it onto the project.
And so that's how you're going to do lots of different colors,
Oh,
right?
you know what scares me about that? How do you make that even?
Oh yeah, that's the
Well,
bad thing.
yeah, sometimes the evenness part is
if I was going to do
tricky.
prairie points like on a big quilt,
Oh no, I would not.
because
Not that way.
I mean, I would get to the end and I'd have this much of a prairie point, and I'd be like, do I just cut it in half and hope nobody notices on that corner?
That's right. Well, one of our favorite techniques to share here at my girlfriend's quilt shop is the continuous prairie point idea, right? So this may be a discovery to some of you. It's really simple to do. Basically, however long you want your prairie points to be, let's say you're going along the border of a quilt, for example. Let's say it's 60 inches. You would make sure that you had a 60-inch long strip.
Okay.
That never changes. That number never changes. So you would base it off of how long you wanted it to be, and then you decide how big you want those prairie points. So let me show you the continuous method very quickly. Right here, for example, I have an 8-inch strip. The reason why I have it 8 inches is because I want to finish this at 2-inch triangles. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take a closer look. What you're going to do is you're going to take your strip, you're going to fold it in half with the wrong sides together. Take your iron and press it. Then you'll take your little ruler, and because I want these prairie points to be 2 inches, I'm going to actually cut in 4-inch increments. So I've already started
So
my
it's
first
double
one.
what you want.
Exactly, it's doubling what you want. And then I'm going to, let's see, I went 4 inches, I'm going to go another 4 inches. And basically, I'm just going right up to that fold line. So
Okay.
I'll go right here.
Don't go past it.
Don't go past it. We're just going straight up to the fold.
Okay.
26, here we go. And let me do one more. We're gonna go to 30. Now, many times you will see that you might have a little leftover piece that doesn't quite make the 4 inches. Oh no, what are you gonna do?
That's what I'm
Right?
thinking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut
Do you
it
see
off.
my eyes? I'm like, oh no.
I'm going to
She's just gonna
cut
cut
it
that off?
Yes, I
All
am.
right.
There we
So
go.
how are you gonna do that?
All right, don't you worry. In fact, I'm just gonna trim both of that off.
All right, perfect.
And
So now
now,
it's not 60 inches.
so you'd make it a little bit bigger.
Okay.
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 And then, in fact, we have all of the rules
measurements,
right
okay.
here, all of the measurements. So I'm gonna, whatever was 4, I'm gonna now go half. So I'm gonna start off with the 2.
Okay.
And let's see, let me get my measurement right here. I'm going
I see
halfway.
where she's going with this. Okay. So don't panic. Just follow the instructions.
Follow the instructions. Yep, they're all there for you. All right, and we continue on that way. Now, let's go ahead. Well, you know what? I'm just going to wing
eyeball
it
it.
right here. I'm
Okay.
going to eyeball this. All right. Now, what we do is we fold
Folding
it
it
in
the same
half
kind of way.
and fold it in half again. I'm going to just give it a little finger press for right
Because
now.
would you just use a little bit of glue there just to...
You could.
Yeah, I'm
Sure.
thinking a glue stick.
Sure,
Not
you
hot
could.
glue on this method.
I'll tell you though, if you iron it with a real iron, you'll be
Yes.
just fine.
Okay.
Yeah, but
As you
you
go?
yes, you certainly could. So we're doing these little prairie points all the way down. But then if I'm going the other way,
This
I'm
is
doing
gonna
the
be
same thing. Go ahead and hold that for me if you
Okay.
will.
This is when you need all your friends and family with extra
Yes.
hands.
Yes.
I promise if you had an iron,
Yes.
you'd be
Yeah,
okay.
so I would do this at the ironing board.
Yes, I would do it at the ironing board. It's going to look like this. And then here we go. We just fold it up,
Look at that.
fold it up,
Look at
and now
that.
we have continuous prairie points.
that
And
are
this will be
perfect.
in the seam.
Yes, and that will be in the seam.
Wow. And you
How
could, and you
simple
can make
is
it
that?
turn a little bit.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
You could. So anyway, that is continuous prairie points in a nutshell. But don't you worry, we have
You got it figured out.
We have a
technique
free
sheet.
technique sheet. That's right. So if you are looking for how to do this, and it's got all the measurements for you, and we'll go from there. Hey,
how
if you
cool.
want 2 colors, you can do 2 colors too.
just make a
If
seam.
you
Seam
want
in the
3
middle.
colors, you could do 3 colors.
Wow.
So lots of different ways of doing it, but this is 3 different ways of doing continuous prairie points. You can find that as a free download on our website at mygirlfriendsquiltshop.com.
Wow.
All right,
Wow.
that's it. That's all there is to it, folks.
That
Very
really
cool.
changes the look of a quilt, too.
It does.
Well, just
it
I
adds
mean,
a lot.
Just,
It
just look
definitely
how
adds
cute
a lot.
This made this. I have to
could've
tell
been
you, when
just-
we got this back in the samples room, Suzanne actually made our sample for us.
Yeah.
And we got this back. We panicked just a little bit because we're like, why did she put prairie points on that? Well, it's written in the instructions
Yes,
for you.
it is.
All
Yes,
your
it
measurements
is.
are correct.
Yes.
She did exactly what she was supposed to.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Nice.
Exactly. It's
But
beautiful.
doesn't it just change that look? I mean, it just kind of
It really
juices
does.
that right.
Yeah, it sure does. And you know, this is a technique you can use on any project. So enjoy it, have fun with it, give it a whirl, and see how well it works for you. All right, friends, that is all for us today. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yes.
It's
What a
been a
fun
lot
day.
of fun. And Rolinda, if you're watching, thank you again.
wow.
What
Wow.
a
I gotta go
what a
look her
treat
up.
that
Wow.
was.
Yes.
Absolutely. Definitely look up Rolinda Stotts. She's an incredible artist, but I would also say an incredible human being.
Yes.
She shared a lot
Yes.
of good thoughts for us to ponder today. And we'd love to hear your thoughts about embracing the beauty of imperfection. Let us know what you think, and let's continue the conversation even on our Friends of My Girlfriend's
yeah.
Facebook page. I
Right.
love when everyone shares what they've learned and some of the thoughts that come to their mind when they hear stuff like this. It's
Even
good.
non-quilters, I think today was
Yeah.
a great episode to just
absolutely.
embrace
Absolutely.
yourself.
Absolutely.
Incorporate it into
Bella
your own
Rota.
family.
Bella Rota.
Bella Rota. It's going to be my new theme. I love it. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep doing all the things you love, and we hope to see you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.